the adab of dealing with the Prophet after his death is in many ways even more challenging than the adab of dealing with the Prophet during his life. But, but no less necessary for your ethical compass and for the ethical compass of the Ummah and for blessings in your life. How do you get to the context of how do you avoid the type of fogs of thought and fogs of perception and fogs of understanding where you avoid causing harm to Allah, the Prophet, or your brothers and sisters? Look at even just the how, you in our lifetime, you have Muslims who are doing to fellow Muslims what they're doing in Yemen, what's going on in Yemen, or what's going on in Syria, or what all the Muslim prisons are full of people who are imprisoned and tortured unjustly, from Saudi Arabia to Iran to Egypt to Pakistan to. How do you get to the type of darkness and blindness where a relationship with the Prophet does not lead to the type of ethical awareness where you are not harming either the way people understand Allah, the way people understand the Prophet, or actually harming your fellow Muslims? It is impossible for that type of fog and darkness and blindness to exist unless first you had lost the adab with the Prophet ﷺ. If the Prophet had anchored in your heart as a beacon of light, if you understood the legacy of the Prophet, the man who never yelled at people who served in his household, never raised his voice to a wife, if you had understood the legacy of the Prophet, if you have truly loved the Prophet, if you have been truly blessed by the blessing of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, Allah tells us, why is it that we sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima? Why is it that we are saying Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi? Does the Prophet need it? Yes, it's for us. And it is for us حتى نكون متصلين بالسماء, so that we are blessed and connected by the heavens, so that we deserve that mercy, that blessing of the heavens. It is anchored right in the middle to tell us the way this ayah has entered my heart and my consciousness and my being is that forever, in the same way that those who lived with the time of the Prophet were required to understand what al-adab ma'a Rasul ﷺ requires, all the more so for you, Muslim, who's living centuries after the Prophet died. Because this ayah, as-salat wa taslim ala Rasul, that the fact that Allah and the angels are constantly in a state of salah and taslim, and that Allah constantly demands that I do the same, it means that in order to be connected to that blessing, so I can in fact achieve what the rest of Surah Al-Ahzab is calling for, that I live a life where I don't harm either Allah or the Prophet or fellow believers. I need that barakah. I need that blessing. So when people come and say, because you get this question all the time, I've heard young Muslims all the time say, why is it that we say, Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi? Why is it that we say peace and blessings upon the Prophet? It's not, the important thing is not to say it. The important thing is to feel it. Whether you just say it, but if you say it and it represents nothing in your heart, then don't say it. There's no point. But the reason we are commanded to feel it is precisely because al-adab ma'a Rasul, proper adab with the Prophet ﷺ, is the key to blessings for us to reach akhlaq al-Rasul, to reach the ethics of the Prophet in society and in life.